Hi everyone, my name is Amber. Welcome to my channel. This is my March TBR. So March is going to be quite an ambitious one, but I feel like that's okay because we have 3 more days in the month than we did in February. February was an alright reading month for me. Actually, I read quite a few books that I was not expecting to get through, but my TBR pile was a little bit neglected compared to what I was planning at the beginning of the month, but that's okay. I now have some more books that I'm planning on reading in March, as well as carrying over a couple of my February books, but because I'm recording this earlier on and I've still got about a week of February left, I don't know which books I'm going to be carrying over yet. So this TBR isn't going to be entirely accurate, but I do have a bunch of things I want to mention. I've got a couple of book club books, I've got a couple of books for a secret TBR project that I'm doing, and I just wanted to give you guys like a teaser. And I've also got some books that are from my physical TBR and I'm trying to get those down. So let's start with those ones. If you're new here, you may not know that I'm doing a TBR challenge in 2021 in which I'm trying to chisel away at my physical TBR because I have a lot of books that I need to read. I will leave a link to the video explaining this up above. But basically each month I pick out a theme. It could be random, it could be something that I've planned for, and I have to pick 3 books that fit that theme in order for me to, you know, whittle away at my TBR and try not to leave books just sitting there, because I know that I have some incredible books on my TBR right now that I should probably be reading, but I keep neglecting them for new releases. So I've picked out 3 books that fit a certain theme, and my theme this month is books that I've already started but have not finished. So I've put all of these books down at some point in the past. Some of them I got a bit further through than others. So let's start with, what should we start with? Let's go with this one. First one is Words of Radiance Part 2. I've already read Part 1 and I've read about 50 pages of Part 2. I read 50 pages a few years ago for this one and I didn't carry on with it, and then I did the same thing again back in December or January maybe, and I just didn't carry on with it. I think it's partly because I don't want this series to turn out to be rubbish, and so I'm really hesitant just in case I don't like the ending of this one, because this is a 5-star prediction and I always worry. I know that in theory I love Brandon Sanderson's books, but sometimes his YA books just don't sit right with me, and I know this isn't YA, but his YA books have kind of put me off in the past. So yeah, I'm sometimes a bit hesitant when it comes to Brandon Sanderson, and also his books are a huge time commitment. But this Part 2 is actually shorter than Part 1 was. This is only 550 pages, so it's not so bad. I've already tabbed it up because I was going to buddy read it with Justine. I don't know if we're still buddy reading it. She was in the same boat as me, I think, and she ended up putting this one down. I'm definitely going to be reading it this month though. I'm looking forward to finally getting through it, figuring out what everyone's talking about, and then eventually getting onto Oathbringer at some point. The next one is one that I was buddy reading with a friend, but again, I am really bad at buddy reads apparently. I read 114 pages of this one, and then the world building got a little bit confusing. So that is The Mirror Empire by Cameron Hurley. I was loving this book. The writing style is fantastic. Cameron Hurley wrote one of my favourite books of 2020, I think. I can't remember when I read that book. I read The Light Brigade and I loved it, and so I really want to pick up this one. It's the first in a trilogy, I believe, and like I said, I was loving it, but then the world building just became a little bit too confusing for me and I probably should have taken notes. So I'm going to start from the beginning, even though I'm over 100 pages in, and then I'm probably going to take notes about some of the world building, some of the characters. As far as I know, this one is about parallel universes or something, or other dimensions, I don't know, but in a fantasy setting rather than sci-fi. Like I said, the world building is a bit confusing for me, but I was really enjoying the characters and all of the different representation that was in there. This one is 550 pages roughly as well, so it's another long one, but I think I can knock it out. And then the final book for this challenge is Crown of Feathers, which is a YA debut from 2019. I think years don't really mean much to me anymore. This one is about 2 sisters, one of which, or both of which, should be phoenix riders, and then they find baby phoenix and I guess they eventually ride it. I got about, I don't know, 100 pages into this as well. It's a common theme for me and I was actually loving it. This is also a 5-star prediction from my 5-star predictions video, and I'm so excited to get to it. I was really enjoying this writing style. I thought it was fantastic, and I just put it down because I wanted to read a physical copy and I only had it as an ebook, so that's why that happened. And then by the time I eventually bought it as a physical copy, I realised I'm going to have to reread the whole thing, and again, it's quite a long one, so it was intimidating me a little bit. This one is just under 500 pages this time, and I've also just noticed that it has a timeline glossary sort of thing in the back, which is going to be really helpful. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I can't wait. If anyone wants to buddy read this one with me, I know I said that I'm really bad at buddy reads, but if anyone wants to read this with me, then let me know. You're welcome to, because I'd love to talk about this one with someone. I was actually meant to be reading this with Ginger, I think, back when it first came out, but yeah, that didn't happen. So now I quickly want to talk about the ebooks that I got from publishers for review. So all of these ones were sent to me for review. Like I said in my NetGalley video, I'm trying really hard to get my percentage up. It's currently at 56%, I think. I haven't checked in a while, and I've got a few more reviews to write. And I was planning by the time April rolls around to get it up to 57%, so I think I can do it. I do have some really exciting books here to talk about. So the first one is Sister Song, which I think, or I know maybe, is a fantasy book. This one is about two sisters, I think, or three sisters maybe, and they are Celts, I believe, and it's kind of set in post-Roman Britain or pre-Roman Britain. I don't really know. This is really bad. But I followed the author on Twitter and she seems like a really lovely person, and this book sounds really, really good. I've heard it's got some representation in there. I can't remember what the representation is exactly, but I think there may be a gender fluid main character, or maybe transgender. Don't quote me on that because I'm not entirely sure, but I will let you know when I do a full review of this one. I also have Every Last Fear, which is a thriller. This one is about a guy, I believe, who goes off to college, then comes back to find his entire family dead, and that's all I know. As you know, if you've been around here for a while, I don't really read the synopses for thrillers because they tend to give too much away, and I tend to build up a lot of excitement in my head, and they don't always turn out that great if I do that, because I go in expecting one thing and then it turns out to be another, so I don't do it. But this one does sound really good. This one comes out on the 2nd of March, so quite soon, so I had better hurry up and get to it. The next one is Greenwich Park, which is, I think, another thriller. At least that's how it's being promoted. I don't know if it's more of a contemporary mystery kind of thing, or maybe a romantic suspense, I'm not entirely sure. So this one is about a woman who is very privileged. She is currently pregnant and she goes to a pregnancy class with a bunch of other people, and she becomes friends with someone who isn't as well off as her, I think. And then I don't really know where the thriller aspect comes in because the publicist was very hesitant to say. I guess they didn't want to spoil anything, which I appreciate. And then the next one is The Prison Healer, which recently has gained a little bit of hype. This is another fantasy book. I can't remember if it's YA or if it's adult. So this one is about a girl in prison who can heal people, and that's all I know about it, but it does sound really good. Everyone's really excited for it, so I am excited too. I do have some more review copies, but those four are going to be my priorities for the beginning of the month, or hopefully towards the beginning of the month, and then hopefully further along to the end I can get cracking on my April review copies, because there are a few of those coming out. Next, I wanted to quickly talk about the two book club books that I either will be reading or have already read. So the first one is for the Space Sirens book club, which is one that I've been a part of since I think June or July last year, and I love it. We're a lovely group of people in my opinion, and we have a WhatsApp group. If anyone's interested in joining, if I know you, then feel free to let me know and I can add you if you want a group of booktubers to chat to. And each month we pick out a book to buddy read, do a live stream for either on the channel. Our March pick is The Gilded Ones, which I actually read in February because I was overly keen and I was also on the blog tour for it, so I did receive this one in exchange for an honest review. I enjoyed it. I gave it 3.5 stars. It could have been a bit better. It was very dark for a YA fantasy book. Lots of trigger warnings there that may or may not be on the author's website. If I remember, I will leave a link to that below. I will be talking about this more in my wrap up, but I just wanted everyone to know that it's the Space Sirens pick for March, and we'll be talking about it at the beginning of April. The next one is a buddy read that I'm doing with a bunch of book bloggers or book Twitter people. I don't know if there's a word for that, and that is the 4th book in the Women of the Other World series, Industrial Magic. As of the time of recording this, I haven't actually read books 2 and 3, but that's my plan for this weekend, is to get started on at least book 2, and then this one will be a reread as well, as will the other 2, so they should fly by quite quickly. I remember really enjoying Eve's stories. It's not even about Eve, I mean Paige. Paige is a witch in these 2 books. The series switches from following Elena, who's really boring and dull, to following Paige, who's a bit younger, I think, and just a lot more interesting. So yeah, I'm really excited about getting to these 2. It's just the 2nd book, which still follows Elena, is putting me off massively, and I can't be bothered. But I do really want to get to Paige, so I'm going to try my best to smash those out and then start this in March. And then, like I said, I'm doing a secret TBR, so I'm not going to tell you the entire thing, but you'll find out about this or what it is in a couple of weeks. And I just wanted to give you a slight teaser for it. So I'm going to show you 2 of the books that I will be reading for it. If you think you can guess the theme, then let me know in the comments below, but you're not going to be able to guess. Like, yeah, there's no way you would know. But do leave a comment below to tell me what you think the theme of this secret TBR could be, because I'm going to be scouring the comments for that, and I'm going to be so amused if anyone does get it right, which you probably won't, but here's a challenge for you. So the first one I want to be reading for this challenge is The Future of Another Timeline. This one is about alternate timelines, I believe, and I was actually sent this by my friend Asha, which was really lovely of her. Was it Asha? I think it was Asha. It was ages ago, and so I should probably pick it up because it's been on my TBR for years now. I'm really looking forward to reading it. I love parallel universe, time travel sort of stuff, alternate timelines, they're just like my thing. It says here, in a world that's just a step away from our own, time travel is possible, but war is brewing. A secret group is trying to destroy women's rights. If they succeed, only a small elite will have the power to shape the past, present and the future. So I think it's kind of a feminist story as well on top of all of that, so that's really good. It's had starred reviews, people seem to love it. I'm really excited to read this one. And then the next one I want to read for the same challenge is After the Flood, which is post-apocalyptic. I think the sea levels are rising, a lot of the US is underwater now, and the main character and her daughter perhaps have to go traveling by boat. Yeah, it says the floods have left America a small cluster of islands with Let's try that again. The floods have left America a cluster of small islands with roving trade ships and raiders. Pell knows little of her father Jacob and elder sister Ro, who left their mother Myra when she was pregnant with her. Between them, they make do. Myra still aches for the daughter she once lost. When a chance encounter reveals that Ro may still be alive, Myra packs up 6-year-old Pell and together they begin a dangerous voyage to the valley, where rumours of violence and breeding ships run rampant. So this has the potential to turn quite dark. I don't know what's going on with this brightness right now. Let's just ignore it and move on. I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I love post-apocalyptic stuff. I don't know if you know this about me, but if you've been here for a while then you probably do. I also really like dark fiction that makes you think, so I'm hoping that's what this is going to do. So yeah, let me know if you can figure out what theme I'm going for this secret TBR. You'll know if you were right in the next couple of weeks, if all things go to plan, fingers crossed. So those are all the books that I'm planning on reading in March, plus more of course, but those are the main ones from my physical TBR. I'm really pleased with how my TBR challenge is going this year. I've read a ton of books that I've really enjoyed already. I've had so many 5-star reads. 2021 is a really good reading year so far and I'm really pleased with it. Let me know if you would like a full review of any of these books. I'm definitely going to be doing one for Words of Radiance because I've already done one for The Way of Kings and I might as well keep the ball rolling, and it would be nice to have a discussion with people about that one. But any of the others I'm open to doing a review for as well, so just let me know if you would like that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll speak to you all in the next one. Bye.